Wiring an outlet and dealing with crooked outlets can be as easy as your ABCs if you know what you are doing. Step 1, kill the power and test it. Do not skip this. An outlet tester and a voltage tester are your best friends here. If you're new to this, don't worry. These tools make it really easy to tell if it's safe before you touch anything. And if it lights up, it's live. If it doesn't, you're good. Green means go, red means live. A lot of people know that the black wire goes to gold or brass, white to silver, and bare or green goes to ground. But that's only part of the story, because a few small mistakes here can lead to loose connections, power issues, or even a fire hazard. So let's go through the top 5 most common outlet wiring mistakes and how to actually do it right.
5.
Strip length. If you're making J-hooks, you want about 3/4 of an inch. If you've got extra Romex or electrical wires laying around, I'd practice this before you get into a tight space. You're usually working with 12 or 14 gauge wire, so just use the right slot on your strippers. It's probably going to be the same one. They've always been the same one on mine. And you can use this hole to bend the wire. You can also loosen the screw a bit to create more space. And if the screw falls out, it's not a big deal. Just screw it back in. And I almost always use needle nose pliers for a clean, secure hook. I'm probably going to get roasted for that, but hey, safety first. But sometimes I don't even use J-hooks. See these plates under the screws? These are called pressure plates. And I do recommend buying these outlets. They save a ton of time. And if you've got these, don't J-hook. Don't do this right here. It's fine, but it's redundant. And you only need about 1/2 inch of strip length.
4.
If you are using J-hooks, always go clockwise, never counterclockwise. That way when you tighten the screw, you're pulling it in, not out.
3.
Backstabbing. Some outlets have these push-in slots in the back. I never use them. They do save time, but they are known to loosen up over time. And most are only rated for 14 gauge wire anyways. My house is pretty much all 12.
2.
Always wire your ground first. It's one of those things where it's just good practice, like assuming a gun is always loaded. If something ever goes wrong, this is what protects you.
1.
There's actually 2 things here that are equally as important, and this is the biggest one that I see. If you have insulation under your terminal screw, not only is that a bad connection, but that's also a fire hazard. You want clean copper making full contact. The insulation can be right up on the screw, just not under it. Simple rule. Metal to metal contact. And this is honestly why I started doing my own electrical work. I'd see stuff like this way too often. And one last thing, if you're dealing with short wires, don't fight it. Splice or connect them, splice connect with Wagos. They're much easier to use than wire nuts, and they take up a lot less space. And they're gonna save you a ton of frustration when you're putting everything back into the box. And a trick that I do to avoid getting crooked outlets, I'll screw them in a little bit, but not all the way down, and then I'll use this bottle opener to help straighten them out. Bottle openers are very thin and they've got a lot of surface area. It's perfect for these. Fix these and your outlet just isn't working. It's wired the right way.